An agile team is making good progress on key requirements, but defects on the deliverables are accumulating in the backlog. Most of the defects are minor and takes half a day to fix. Which approach would be most effective to stop the accumulation of minor defects? Okay, interesting question. Let's look at the option. Option A, reserve some capacity in the iteration for defect fixing. Option B, add special product backlog item to fix these defects. Option C, integrate the fixing of defects in definition of done. Start estimating the defects in story points. I feel the choice is difficult here, but I pause for a while and let you pick up your choices. In my view, I will go with option C, and let me explain why I think so. And I do believe that other options, all the remaining three options has some value, and they can probably help us in reducing the defects, not necessarily in accumulation of defects, but they can definitely help us in reducing the defects. So let's go one by one. Reserve some capacity in the iteration for defect fixing. Now, this might be a good idea for already accumulated defects. Yeah. So you may say that, okay, we already have this much. So rather than just working on the new requirements, we seems to be doing good with the new requirements, but we are accumulating defects. So some percentage of our iteration capacity should be applied there. And it may reduce the total number of defects, not necessarily the newly arriving defects. So accumulation may still keeps happening, but since you are burning, so overall absolute accumulation, iteration may start reducing. So that seems to be a good option in general. So option B, add special product backlog item to fix these defects. So you may add one item or you may add multiple items in the product backlog where you focus on fixing those defects. So it's already saying that, yeah, you have accumulation of defects and you can add them into the backlog, and that may make it visible, and at some point in time you can fix it. But adding things in the backlog may not necessarily stop accumulation of it. Yeah. So it may make things visible. It may start giving a good focus in the conversation, but not necessarily takes care of incremental accumulation of the defects. Now, option D, start estimating the defects in story points. Now, estimation of defects and showing and quantifying those defects as a problem is a good idea. Probably that make people more aware of it, but awareness may lead to some action item, but just awareness is not helping me to directly stopping the accumulation of the new defects. Now let's look at the option C, which I selected as the preferred option from my side. Integrating the fixing of defects in the definition of done. So what does it mean? So the definition of done is an agreement which team is making among themselves as well as with the stakeholder to tell that we will finish all this before we declare a particular backlog item complete. Yeah? So if they include the fixing of the defects as well, along with doing the requirement, or say minor defects as well, along with doing the requirement, then they won't mark these particular items fixed or done till the time these defects are also completed. So it's like this. I won't be able to say my key feature is complete if it has some minor defects. I better fix it then and there. So that's a preferred approach. There is also a clear data, as well as I'm sure most of you must have faced this experience, that fixing an issue when it is fresh, it is easy. But if these issues starts getting accumulated and then one issue may start getting related with the other issue, then fixing them may becomes more and more challenging. Usually the time to take fixing increases if we keep delaying that particular fixing. So looking at the idea of build quality in, they're looking at the idea of creating the right sense of completeness. The option C seems to be the best option, where we are saying we need to improve our definition of done, which should include the fixing of the minor defect in this particular question.